establish a permanent art collection here at the high school so that students and community could enjoy the atmosphere of an art museum within their own community. So we still have a lot of wall space to fill, but we are definitely getting there. And it's with everyone's support, all of your support, all of the help from the students and the staff, the administration, everybody here that has helped tonight that has allowed this event to continue to happen and allow our permanent collection to grow. But before we continue on with the evening, I want to thank everyone who is here, thank everyone who has donated to our program. Especially I want to thank Lynn Huggins. She's not out here right now, she is busy in the back. She is our food services director who has helped to organize the appetizers and made everything lovely out there. And her staff. I also want to thank my mother, if she can stand up. She has been a huge help to me. She's gone out and gotten all of the donations for the auction items that are out there, in addition to babysitting my child for me during the week. So she has really helped out tremendously. I want to thank my committee and everyone else that is here, the artists most especially. This is a great evening for you to showcase your talents. My kids are really excited that you're all here, so I'm hoping that you are enjoying the evening. So, I would like to introduce our building principal, Mr. Dan Krofchek, to say a couple of words.
Good evening. I can't say enough about our art teacher here at Southmoreland High School. She does an amazing job day in and day out, inspires kids, inspires her colleagues, inspires me as a principal in a lot of ways with her enthusiasm and zeal for the arts and her passion and love of teaching kids. And I wanted to take that opportunity to say that about Mrs. Goodman here. I was never much one. I was from a small town boy. Art in the Krofchek family was always really reserved for the well-to-do, and we never really attempted to understand art. We knew what we knew. We were avid sports enthusiasts and typical small-town America. But it was a very important experience for myself when I had the opportunity to be enrolled in an art class as a freshman in high school. And in that class I was given a green, red, purple, and blue pastels, as well as a sheet of rather large paper, and I was asked to draw a self-portrait. And interestingly, we were not to use mirrors, which made it even more challenging. So I put together a portrait, which I thought looked very, very somewhat similar or close to me. And it really was an opportunity for me, and really kind of a life-changing moment when I was able to do that, to feel the empowerment of understanding really what I could not physically embody, but what really was embodiment of what I felt. And from that point, in my freshman art class, I have grown to really love and appreciate the arts as well as music. That is a highly important thing to me as a leader in America's public schools, that we embrace art, that we embrace music, because it is so important. It was so personally important to me, and I believe it is important for our children and for our future. I'd like to thank the patrons of the arts. This is such a gift to our kids. Such a gift. Rather proudly say, as the principal of Southmoreland High School, we are one of the few high schools that can really brag about the collection of art that we bring together. And it's because of the artists and the patrons of the arts. It, like me, can bring art to every day to our kids so that they could realize that how important it is and how much of an expression of ourselves it can be for us to understand really not only ourselves individually but ourselves as a group at Southmoreland High School. I appreciate your patronage, artists. I appreciate your work, and I look at them every day with a different eye and different perspective. And I thank you and look forward to many years to come in supporting the Southmoreland Art Collection. Thank you very much.
I'm the MC for tonight. We will now begin our student-docent presentations. First docent is Samuel Baylor.
This first piece is Through the Trees by Gail Beam. Through the Trees by Gail Beam is a pastel drawing and is a plein air work. Beam said, "When I happened on the scene one early morning, I was struck by the light on the grass coming through the trees, as well as the house peeking through the trees reflecting the light." Beam's work is greatly influenced by the tonalist as well as the impressionist. She primarily paints the western Pennsylvania landscape and the Pittsburgh area in particular. Her work is known for the sense of light and mood it evokes, especially those of serenity and peace. Beam's creative process begins by searching for a scene that particularly grabs her attention. She needs an emotional response to the scene. She begins by taking a photograph of the scene, creating a sketch, then completing a quick value study. She then creates an underpainting of pastels, watercolor, or oil washes. Over this, she begins working in pastel, dark to light, dull to bright, and thin to thick, until she arrives at a point where the values are true and the piece is complete. Although Beam enjoys working with various media, she prefers to work in pastels and oil. Beam has given several workshops and demonstrations and was an artist in residence at the Cleveland School of the Arts. Her work has been shown at the Three Rivers Arts Festival, Rittenhouse Square Arts Festivals, the Greensburg Arts Center 2011 Biennial Exhibit, the Fred Rogers Annual Exhibition, and the Box Art Gallery's 11th Annual Exhibition. Beam attended the Art Institute and then continued to study painting with different nationally known artists, as well as on her own through studying books and the works of past masters in museums and galleries. Our next docent will be Brianne Bosich.
Kamala's Flower by Karen Farrick. Kamala's Flower by Karen Farrick is a pastel painting which draws on inspiration from the works of Claude Monet. The piece is named after a baby recently born in Farrick's family. The child's name is Kamala, which is Indian for lotus, a Hindu water lily. Hence the name inspiration of the main inspiration of the painting. The composition of the painting features a single flower blossom among the numerous lily pads, signifying the beauty and uniqueness of the individual. Farrick's artwork is done with pastel, which is a pure pigment rolled in a binder. I love the tactile quality of applying the medium directly onto the sanded paper with my hands and working with the lush colors of the soft pastels, says Farrick. Her work is considered painting because of the entire surface is covered with a pigment as opposed to pastel drawing, which leaves some of the paper shown in finished product. Barrett often paints plein air, and she always sketches her composition first using the actual subject or a photo of the subject. She organizes shapes and maps values, then redraws it onto white sanded paper that has been dry mounted on gator foam board. Barrick's first goal is to eliminate the weight of the paper by applying hard pastels and dark values, often using the finished colors complement so that subsequent layers of color will have a luminous quality. This is set with odorless mineral spirits. Then she begins layering the softer, luscious pastels, continuing until the lightest values are applied. Barrick's work exclusively in pastels, but is currently taking classes in oils. Lifelong learning is her personal goal. She has been an art educator for over 20 years, teaching art for kindergarten through 12th grade. For the past 11 years, she has taught art for kindergarten through 5th grade for the Burrell School District. Prior to her being a teacher, she was an interior designer. Currently, Ferrick's work can be seen in the 2011 Three River Druid Show in Pittsburgh, the 2011 Jared Greensburg Art Center's biennial, the South Park Theater in South Park, and the Art Educators 2011 Artists of the Pike Show in Brownsville, among many others. Barrett graduated from Indiana University with a BA in Art Education. She has also completed numerous workshops with nationally recognized pastel artists such as Doug Dawson, Maggie Price, Susan Ogilvy, Ron Matsuma, and Judith Carducci. Along the Brandywine by Charlotte Davidson. Along the Brandywine by Charlotte Davidson is an acrylic painting that attempts to explore the beauty of nature on an early summer afternoon. This painting was inspired by history as Davidson found inspiration for her piece while visiting Chadds Ford Museum in an area that is also the scene of a Revolutionary battle. Davidson chose to paint this Brandywine area specifically because of its historical significance. This stream in particular seemed exceptionally beautiful. Davidson states that the effects of the light falling on the stream and reflections of surrounding green trees were a challenge to resolve in paint. Because Davidson has limited time to create her artwork, she uses her camera as her sketchbook. She then brings her photographs to her studio and works to create a good composition. Davidson enjoys working with acrylic paints as well as with pastels to complete her work. She has exhibited her work in both the Greensburg Art Center and the Jewish Community Center in addition to the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art. Davidson's fine art skills have been mainly self-taught, but she has taken classes at the Washington Art Association in addition to several other workshops. Our next docent is Michaela Nixon.